Hello and welcome to Soulful Strategies with Kathleen Amy. I'm your host, Kathleen, and I am so excited to have you join me for our very first episode back for this spring season. This episode is all about revitalizing your business, tuning back into your intuition, and bringing in some fresh, soulful strategies to get you kick-started for the spring season. One other reason that I'm super excited about this episode is that I'm moving to a fortnightly podcast drop. And the reason why this excites me so much is because I am all about creating space and time for people to focus on what they love. And I think that when we are supporting people and their businesses, it's so important to actually embody that ourselves. And so moving to a fortnightly podcast release gives me the extra space and the extra time to make sure that I'm really bringing things to you that are going to be valuable and useful and that you're actually going to be able to implement. I love to let ideas percolate and sit and really ground into them. And I think that giving you, my lovely listeners, the opportunity to really sink into these episodes, even though they're short, they are mighty. Some of the topics that we go into really need more than a week to digest and infuse into your strategies if you want them to become part of your day to day and not just something that you listen to and say, oh, that's nice, and move on to the next thing. I really want these episodes to be short, digestible, and actionable. That is the key step, because sometimes we can sit in our wanting to do and our dreams and our vision and our to-do list and our goals for so long that we actually move into inaction and don't take the necessary steps, even if they're small, to reach the goals, to become the person, or for our business to become the business that we want it to be. Now, having said all that, let's get into some action. I think this is the perfect kickstart to the spring drop of episodes. And that is because spring is really a time where metaphorically and literally things around us are beginning to blossom. It's really the perfect time to inject some of that fresh energy, pull and call on some of that energy from our outer world into our businesses. So today we're going to explore how you can align your business practices with this spirit of spring for renewed and revitalized growth and success. How do we actually begin to embrace this energy? Well, firstly, I think it's important to take a step back and reflect on what areas of our business actually need the revitalizing. This could be anything from our daily operations to our long-term strategic goals. And by taking the time to first reflect on that and identify these areas, we can then begin to create a plan to breathe new life into them. Because if you don't know where you're coming from and where you've been, there's no real way to apply that to your strategies moving forward. We aren't coming as a blank slate. There are things that we know, there are things that we have learned. And so it's about pulling these in and reflecting on them so that we can use them to move forward in a constructive way. The first thing we are going to do is revisit your vision and goals. Now is a good time, or any time is a good time, you'll hear me say if it feels in alignment for you, to revisit your business vision and goals. Ask yourself and take some time to contemplate if they are still aligned with your values and the direction you want to take. You can take this opportunity to refine your vision and set those clear, actionable, SMART goals for the coming months. You know that I love SMART goals. Revisiting this and revitalizing it, if necessary, will give you a renewed focus and can help you guide your efforts and help you stay on track. You might have used these winter months to really be introspective and set some clear aligned goals. Revisit those and see if they're still feeling in alignment or if there's any tweaks or adjustments you need to make along the way. And at the same time, are there any goals that you've achieved? Are there any things that you can tick off and give yourself a pat on the back and some celebration and recognition for yourself and your business? The next thing we're going to do is declutter and organize. And just like we feel the pull, well, I don't know about you, but I do feel the intense pull to spring clean everything in my house as spring comes. We should also be looking at spring cleaning, so to speak, our business, decluttering your workspace, both physically and digitally, organizing your files, streamlining your processes, and eliminating anything that no longer serves your business and no longer serves you as the being in your business. This also includes something that I love to do, and that is an audit of all of the applications that you are using, how much you're spending on them, where your finances are going, and what can you cut back on. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about social media and marketing. And that's because one of the things that I've noticed with the people that I work with is that when I'm having meetings with them in spring, there is this refreshed, new excitement, buzzing energy. It's just palpable when we're on meetings together, especially when we're talking about social media strategy, launches, and how we're going to move through marketing these launches in terms of social media and adjusting the strategy to suit. So, my soulful strategy here is to take advantage of that energy and the themes of spring when it comes to your strategy. As you're feeling more inclined to be sharing and showing up, adjust your strategy to support that. You might be creating more content, whether it's blog posts, social media updates, or emails. Let this natural energy that you have during this time shine through your messaging and continue to align that messaging, of course, with that consistent thread throughout, which will be weaved into your social media strategy and your wider marketing strategy. Now, let's also have a little chat about aligning your business practices with the spirit of spring. And what I mean by that is if you're embracing the spirit of spring, you're embracing change, you're fostering growth, and you are nurturing those new ideas or those new seeds. The first thing is embracing change. And if spring is all about seeds and growth and rejuvenation and revitalization and things blossoming, we can kind of see that it's all about transformation. When we're applying that to ourselves as human beings, it's about being open to change and willing to adapt. This might mean that we're trying new strategies, we're adopting new technologies. I know that a lot of people I'm working with are looking into AI or already utilizing AI or even rethinking your business model. I know change can be daunting, but really change is essential for growth. And change and growth is one of the only constants in life. It's the one thing that we know is going to happen. So lean into it and use it as an opportunity for innovation and development. The next part is about fostering growth. And you know that I love a plant analogy if you have been around here for any amount of time. And if you're new here, welcome. I love sharing plant analogies. So, just as plants need the right condition to grow, your business is going to need a supportive environment to grow and thrive. Depending on your business, this might look like investing in your team, providing opportunities for professional development for them and yourself, and cultivating a positive organizational culture. And that is not just if you have a team, it's also if you are a solo business. You are part of your organizational culture. And I think sometimes as solo business owners, people can neglect that. When your team and you as a being feels valued and supported, everyone is going to be more likely to contribute to the growth and success of business. And that includes you if you are in a solo business. Last but not least, we can align with the spirit of spring by nurturing those new ideas. If we're looking at spring and the energy of spring as a time of creativity and new beginnings, that revitalization, it can be a great time to encourage that innovation within your business by creating space for those new ideas to grow and flourish. Creating space and holding brainstorming sessions, whether it's by yourself, if you're in a solo business, having that CEO time, or if you have a small team with them, encouraging collaboration and being open to feedback. Now might be the time where you receive feedback from your clients and you start incorporating that into your wider strategy. Remember here that some of the best ideas can come from the most unexpected places, but they need that space so that they can come in. If we are filling our calendar with all the things, we are not going to have that space for those creative ideas to really drop in, or the seeds to plant and grow. For me, this really came in the form of, like I mentioned at the start of the episode, revitalizing and refreshing the way that I release podcast episodes for the Soulful Strategies with Kathleen Amy podcast. And that is moving to the fortnightly podcast drop and creating more space and time. Even just making the decision to move from weekly to fortnightly podcast drops and extend the break between seasons was like a weight lifted off my shoulder, metaphorically and a little bit literally. My body breathed a sigh of relief. And that is because, as a projector in human design, a mother to 3 children, and a business owner, it takes a lot of energy to be creating and managing all of these things. And so moving to the fortnightly podcast drop actually allowed me more space, and I could breathe a sigh of relief and not have to have the mental load of thinking about the next 12 topics I was going to come up with. It actually allowed me the space for the next 6 topics to flow with ease. Once I made that change and made that decision, my episodes flowed. If you're listening and you might think, gosh, that's such a simple concept. And it is. And that's what I mean when I say sometimes the best strategies or the best ideas can come from the most unexpected places. They can just come out of nowhere, and they can be so simple, so frustratingly simple sometimes. This might be a great opportunity for you to contemplate when has a simple decision or a simple new idea created epic growth and transformation and revitalization for your business and life. Sometimes it's all about the small things, and we get focused in on the big picture when it's actually just the small steps we need to take to get there. As I wrap up today's episode, I want to give you some actionable takeaways that you can use to energize your business this spring. So there are 6 things that we're going to focus on. The first thing is revisit and refine your vision and goals. Number 2, declutter and organize your workspace physically and digitally. Number 3, look at incorporating seasonal themes or capitalizing on the energy that you have into your marketing and adjust those strategies accordingly. Number 4, embrace change and be open to new strategies. Number 5, foster a supportive environment for your growth that is within yourself and within your team and within your environment. And number 6 is nurture new ideas and encourage innovation and creativity. Thank you so much for joining me on this first spring episode of Soulful Strategies. I hope you're feeling as inspired as I am and ready to infuse your business with this fresh energy and actionable strategies. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed today's show or any of my shows, please leave a review, because your feedback helps me reach more listeners and continue to provide valuable content. Until next time, keep aligning your business with your soul's purpose and enjoy the blossoming new possibilities this spring. Don't forget to keep it simple too. Catch you next week.